Hi, DiGena here. I'm going to be tying a Takayama Sakasa Kebari, a traditional tenkara fly. In the vise, I have a Mustad C49S in a size 12. For thread, I'm going to be using UTC 140 denier in red. For my hackle, I'm going to be using Hen Pheasant. For the collar, I'm going to be using Peacock Herl. We start with our jam knot at the eye of the hook. You don't have to worry about crowding the eye on this pattern. I'm going to get hen pheasant fiber, and I'm going to strip away all the marabou fluff from the hen pheasant. Now, as far as size, I don't know what's the proper proportion, if there is any. I tend to go by eye, what looks and feels good based on what I see on other people's patterns. So I would say anywhere from 2 to 1.5. I think that's a little long, so I'm going to go a little bit shorter and just bring that down. And you see I've brought that feather down quite a bit. And now I'm going to grab the tip. You can use hackle pliers for this if you want. I found there's really no need. I'm basically stripping away to get a tie-in point. If this was a western wet fly or a spider, I would have shiny side facing the camera and tie it in as so. But what I'm going to do is flip that so it's dull side up. It's a fairly prominent head, and you can think of it as a hot spot or a trigger. I have my thread fairly flat in this case, and now I'm going to spin it clockwise to cord it up, because what I want to do is get it behind my hackle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my hackle, moisten my fingers, and stroke them forward. Take my thread and bring it behind the hackle. You can use hackle pliers at this point. I don't, because it's a fairly thin stem, and I rather have feel and see what's happening to the stem as I'm turning it, so you can see it twists. And so all I'll do is I can counter it as it happens, keeping and twisting forward and keeping my fires forward as I move back. If I feel it moves in a direction I don't like, I'll just make an adjustment, but this one is behaving. I'm going to lock in the stem, and now what I'm going to do is use the stem like I would use thread as a ramp to guide my thread down, get it to a point, and now break it away. I'm going to bring this back just behind. I'm going to get a Peacock Herl and just slightly prep it. And tie my Peacock Herl in. And just like I did with the hen pheasant, I'm going to tie this in by hand. I'm not going to use hackle pliers. It's a delicate fiber, and I find I have better control. I'm going to use then the Peacock Herl as a ramp to guide my thread. I'm going to, at this point, flatten my thread. I see it cording up, breaking it away. I'm not worried about any of the fibers that are showing, because they'll get covered up with the thread shortly. I'm going to work my way down to past the barb, come back up, flatten my thread, and now I'm going to build a taper. Again, flattening my thread as I go. I'm going to come just shy of the Peacock Herl. I'm going to use a larger whip finish tool because I need the reach to get behind everything. 1, 2, 3. I'll go for a fourth one. Bring it in place, seat my knot really well, put some good downward pressure, bring my scissors up, and snip. So there we have Takayama Sakasa Kebari, forward-facing hackle, what most people consider in the US a traditional tenkara fly. It's basically a forward-facing wet fly. I found them very effective. Color combinations I've done really well with chartreuse. This happens to be for fluorescent chartreuse, UTC 70, but 140 would be a better weight. I've used black, and this is wood duck. Those are another color that I found very effective is also a dun or a gray. If you had sulfurs coming off, I would use yellow. So PMDs in the West, it's in a very adaptable pattern. It's a very generic pattern that you can use for any hatch. Just basically change your thread color. If you had alternate hackle, or like I said, if you didn't have hen pheasant, you can use, cock pheasant. I happen to have a purple cock pheasant, dyed purple, which I found to be a really fun pattern to tie with and very effective. You're not going to have purple, maybe you can dye your own, but use any wet fly hackle you have. It doesn't have to be hen pheasant. Peacock Herl, most people have it in their kit, and you're going to have thread. Use the color thread for whatever hatch is coming off. If you have caddis coming off, then the chartreuse would be really great. In the winter, the red I found to be a good trigger, for midges. It doesn't matter that it's oversized, but you can tie these down to size 18 with no problem at all. You just have to trim down your hackle a little bit more. You can tie it as full or as sparse as you like. Hope this helps. If you enjoy this video, please like, subscribe, share it with your friends. Thank you.